Ben is here. And Marshall's here in the lounge. Here in the lounge, we're gonna do Cinema Lounge presents a thing for you.
And we're not getting sued. We're not getting sued because this is open to the public.
Yeah. We said yeah at the same time.
It's jazz. Some people have it, some people don't.
Unless it's the Star Wars universe.
In which case,
when it's
what? Oh yeah, that is what they call it, isn't it? That gave me a heart attack.
Did you not know about this?
Well, I think I did know that because obviously I realized it after moments, but I really thought for a second that maybe we weren't recording, and that was why you were okay with saying a naughty word. But it's actually canon.
No, that's not naughty. It's just the name of the style of music they play in Star Wars.
I love walking into a room and having it full of sweet.
Oh no! No, it's gone too far.
What? It's the music in Star Wars.
It is the music in Star Wars, and we all love, when you walk into the cantina and you see the Max Revo band playing over there, and they're all holding those oblong instruments.
Yes.
And what's coming out is just nice, smooth
on their butt heads. Yeah.
Oh no, it's so much worse.
Yeah.
This is going to be an exercise in how much of this I will or will not just bleep.
Should we restart?
No.
Cool. Welcome to Star Wars, everybody. Google it if you want. I don't know what will come up.
Did you say welcome to Star Wars, everybody?
Welcome. What? Did I? Welcome to the lounge, everybody.
Welcome to Star Wars, everybody. We're here in the Cinema Lounge Presents Lounge to present something to you.
Yeah, which means it's a short episode where we're not deep diving into a movie we love. No. We're a little topical.
We wouldn't.
And this time we're presenting to you the Oscars.
Oscars.
F the Oscars.
Which means frick you, Oscars.
Yeah. Thank you for translating that. Frick you, Academy.
I'm all about family-friendly content.
Yeah, you are. Which is why we started talking about Star Wars.
Because Star Wars is a family program most of the time.
Correct. So anyway, today we're presenting to you F the Academy, F the Oscars. We are going to talk about the Oscar nominees.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to talk about films that we think were snubbed from the Oscars.
Do we want to fill out our own ballots today, or do we want to wait until we've done
let's wait,
more
because
movies?
I don't feel prepared.
I agree.
Let's wait. But that's a fun thing to tease for a future episode.
Yes.
Ben and Marshall do a Oscar ballot.
Ben and Marshall do the Oscars.
How hard do you think it is to get into the Academy?
I don't know.
Can we apply as cinema loungers?
I feel like you have to have some kind of SAG credits or something. Like you have to be able.
Got some SAG credits.
Yeah. Because I know there are some guys that I watch the show I've told you about every once in a while called Welcome to the Basement, which was kind of a little bit of a blueprint for this show at the start. And I don't know about both of them, but I know one of them who has done some professional voice work. He's actually the voice for Darth Vader a lot of the time.
Really?
Most of the time when it's not James Earl Jones, it's Matt Sloan.
Interesting.
So he is in the Screen Actors Guild and gets sent these screeners a lot of the time. So he'll just be these movies that sometimes have little watermarks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they'll just get sent to you automatically if you're part of the Academy or part of the Guild and stuff like that.
I have watched some movies on those because we had some neighbors who their brother was in the Screen Actors Guild.
There's James Earl Jones.
And would send them the movies before they came out on DVD.
That's cool.
Would send them to them sometimes even before they were in theaters. And so me and my family sometimes would get those DVDs from our neighbors and watch them, and they would have little watermarks or little things going across the bottom, which I'm sure more people see now that
kind of weird
pirating
annoying.
Is a thing. But it says something like not for resale, not for
reproduction,
not for public use.
Consumption.
Yeah.
Not for consumption.
Crazy.
I've got a case of consumption.
What is that?
Give me one of them screeners.
Is that from Left 4 Dead?
Is that from Left 4 Dead?
Red Dead Redemption?
Famous
Left 4 Red
Famous video game by Turtle Rock Studios, Left 4 Dead. Published by Valve. Is that what the consumption is from?
What were you quoting?
It's just like I've got the vapors.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things.
Did people know about
It's one of
that?
these old west diseases.
The consumption. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is that tuberculosis?
I might be. I don't know. Look it up. Is that when you got the blood? I've got blood in my lungs.
It is tuberculosis.
Okay.
Yeah, what's
tuberculosis?
It's like Fergalicious.
Arthur Morgan is tuberculosis.
Definition.
Spoiler alert.
Make them go loco.
Oh, Ben,
What the hell are we doing?
we are doing a Cinema Labs Presents. We're both very tired, and I want to know. First of all, should we just say what? We're not going to go through every category, but do you want to just talk about what was nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah, sure.
Let's find out.
You're so prepared. I got it because I have a computer with typey fingers. Why? You have a computer in front of you. Why would you ever go to your phone?
Because my computer is running the podcast.
Nominees for Best Picture.
Yep.
All Quiet on the Western Front. Boom. Cinema Lounge episode.
Yes.
Banshees of Inisherin.
Boom. Cinema Lounge
Cinema
episode.
Lounge. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Haven't talked about it.
Not Cinema Lounge. Women Talking. Not a Cinema Lounge.
No.
Top Gun Maverick. Thanks,
not
Tom
talked
Cruise,
about
for
it.
saving theaters.
That's another one, actually, that I have not seen that we could do a presents on.
What? Did
Yeah.
you really never?
I was the only person in the world who didn't go see it.
No, that's not true, but that does suck for you. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
I'm going to have to watch it for this.
All of these are going to be back in theaters soon because
We'll go to the
local
Alamo.
theaters will probably. Oh, yeah. Or
Remember.
The Alamo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we'll go watch some of these.
Yeah, remember the Alamo, Ben.
Shut up. You're distracting the listeners from this list they're making.
Well,
in
they
their
need to
brain.
remember the Alamo, too.
Maybe the listener just freaking Google it, huh? Why am I reading these?
Because I want to know, too.
They have a smartphone. That's how they're
I
listening
don't.
to this. Okay, The Fablemans.
wanna see
Avatar,
that
The
too.
Way of Water.
Boom, Cinema Lounge episode.
Oh, boom. Elvis.
Just watch that.
I haven't. And Tar. Tar, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, at least to my knowledge.
Shoot. My wife thinks What's His Buckets from Elvis is hot, and I don't think so.
Austin Butler?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's got a weird mouth.
He does a little bit, but I think that's kind of in style now. He's like somewhere between Pedro Pascal and Timothy Chalamet.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
He's that kind of like
Kind of ethereal,
He's the stick figure boy.
Yeah.
He's a young stick figure boy. But he's got more meat on his bones and he's got brown hair like Pedro Pascal. Like
Is that
these
the
are the three flavors of man that are hot right now.
Yeah.
It's Timothy Chalamet, Timmy Shally, Austin Butt, Austin Booty, Timmy Shally, Austin Booty, and Beatty Paskey and Pedro Pascal.
As not a person who's attracted to men, I can't comment on this. but-
Pascal's the only one that I can understand. Laura keeps sending me Pedro Pascal edits
Why?
because we're watching The Last of Us.
Oh.
And which is fantastic.
Not this episode though.
Okay. Of Cinema Lounge.
I'm gonna I'm gonna
Okay.
finish. I'm gonna finish the game first. I've told myself.
Oh.
I haven't finished it.
Do you own it?
Nope.
Ben.
I should just start watching the episode, shouldn't I? I'm never gonna finish the game. I always do this to myself.
Well,
I'll read the book first.
set an alarm for 4:45 to talk to Ben about the Last of Us game.
Hell yeah.
I have thoughts.
Okay.
Keep going through the nomies.
That's it. I finished.
Okay.
For Best Picture. So why was I doing that? Oh, because we're talking about things that are snubbed for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Or just
in general. Do you want to start? Because I have some things that I'm surprised they weren't nominated in any specific category,
Yeah,
but I have
yeah.
two movies that were not nominated at all.
Well, I don't want to start because my list is movies that I thought were great this last year that I see why they weren't. I could see why they're not nominated for anything, but I thought they were fantastic. But you know what I'm saying? So I don't think I should start because mine are just movies that I liked this past year that came out in 2022, but that I can see why. You know,
There's also controversy around the nominations a little bit. Have you heard about this?
which one? Which nominations?
Can you go through the Best Actress noms?
Oh, yeah. Supporting actress or lead?
Lead.
I actually just
You closed the webpage?
Actress in a leading role. Kate Blanchett,
Nope.
Ana de Armas,
Nope.
Andrea Riseborough,
For what?
Leslie.
Yes.
To
Okay,
Leslie.
so that one, and I feel like this is relevant because of the topic overall. There's some controversy around that right now. We're doing a tight news.
Yep.
And basically, there's always, the Oscar nominations come out and you get the normies going, I've never heard of 80% of these. What? This isn't in my local theater. I don't know what this is.
There's much more diversity this year compared to other years in terms of the type. Like, there's a freaking summer blockbuster as a nominee.
I could not believe that Top Gun Maverick was in there. Avatar 2, I was very surprised.
Yeah, anyway.
Avatar 2 as well. There's always stuff like that. There's far less this year, like you said.
Right.
But there is it's always just because there's all kinds of stuff coming out that people don't see that is genuinely not in your big chain theater. It is in your small local theater.
Right.
So you're not going to have seen it.
Okay.
Unless you're like actively a movie person. That's normal. This is different. So have you heard of To Leslie?
No.
Have you heard of, what was her name? Andrea Riseborough?
Yeah.
Have you heard of her?
Nope.
That is not an accident. It is because there's no reason you probably would have. What seems to be fishy about this is that this movie came out to no aplomb. Like, no one thought about it. No one gave it a second thought. And then suddenly it's nominated. So we're like, what is going on here? There was no significant praise. There was no significant cultural groundswell or anything like that. So what did happen is that there were some prominent celebrities that made some statements and nominations and campaigns for this movie that all sounded bizarrely similar.
Oh, what?
So,
was it like a freaking bot?
No. Let me pull up my tight news thing here because I had it written down. Oscar nom rethink. So here's the news. The Academy says they are conducting a review of campaign procedures around this year's nominees after Andrea Riseborough's Oscar nomination for To Leslie. So, Riseborough stars as a woman struggling with addiction in To Leslie, which had a limited theatrical release on October. Her film was not widely seen and initially attracted little awards buzz. It generated just $27,000 at the global box office, and the only significant awards mention Riseborough received before the Oscars was a Best Lead Performance nom at the Independent Spirit Awards. Not a big thing. Probably the biggest independent film award show, but still. She benefited from a last-minute Oscar campaign organized by fellow actors, including Kate Winslet, Amy Adams, Gwyneth Paltrow, which raised her profile during the awards voting period and surprised awards observers for how sudden the surge in support was. Some people thought it was unusual, particularly when the actors who voiced their support used the same phrasing. To Leslie was a small film with a giant heart, in at least 4 social media posts from Mia Farrow, Joe Montenegro, Dule Hill, was a weird one to include here, and Meredith Vieira, which generated confusion and sparked internet memes. I missed the memes. So then that's all weird. Following that, we get this. By now, we're aware that British star Andrea Riseborough scored a Best Actress Oscar nomination for To Leslie after her director's wife and others orchestrated a skilled grassroots political campaign that made Obama 2008 look like Hillary 2016. I don't care about your weird political commentary. Mary McCormick and friends emailed and called tons of members of the Academy's Actors Branch, begging them to see the little-watched alcoholic drama and post online about Riseborough's searing performance. So basically, they've bribed their way into the nominations, which is, like, we all have always known you're buying these awards. You have to, just like a real political campaign, you have to spend a significant amount of money on these things. The only reason that Jane Lynch is nominated for Everything Everywhere is because they have campaigned for her so hard. Yeah. It was crazy that she was the person nominated at the Golden Globes and not the Stephanie Sue, I think is how you say her last name, who plays the daughter in that. Right. If I had to choose who was the supporting actress in Everything Everywhere, it would not have been Jane Lynch.
You mean Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh, yes, I mixed them up. That's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, you're good.
And
both of them are nominated actress in a supporting role for the Oscars, but not for Golden Globes.
What is Jane Lynch nominated for this year?
What? Sorry, I mean Jamie Lee Curtis is nominated for everything. All
And Stephanie Sue.
And Stephanie Sue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's good that she is nominated. It was just surprising. So like we know that these are political,
right?
And we know that you're paying a lot of money
and talking to people.
It has to sort of be a meritocracy,
right?
And that was just completely not that.
Pretty crazy.
So it's just been sketchy. So that context going into this conversation about things that are nominated, are not nominated, should have been nominated.
Right.
It's not. As much as I want it to be fully a meritocracy, it's not. And ultimately, you only have 5 slots for all these categories except for Best Picture anyway. So things are going to get left out.
Which also, I mean, connecting back to a couple years ago with Oscar So White and all of that, you know, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, it's realistically not everybody's choice. Like, there's campaigning, there's money being spent, like actual ad campaigns, like legitimately billboards in Hollywood taken up like near
for your consideration.
Like exactly. Like the purpose of them is to get the Oscar noms.
And if it was actually democratic, then I would look at Oscars So White and the other year when they were talking about there's no female directors, or like it was Natalie Portman had that famous thing where she went and she was the announcer and said the all male directors, and the audience were like, ooh,
right.
If it was actually a democracy and a meritocracy, I would be like, well, black voices didn't get voted for this year.
Right.
But because there is so much political maneuvering within this, it is a lot more sketchy for those reasons.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. It's a weird conversation around that stuff especially. But in this case, it's just very clear that there was a manipulation of the system that happened here. So... yeah, there was also kind of a weird, not great group of best actresses anyway. Like, I feel like a lot of these categories are pretty clear cut.
Yeah, okay, just while we're talking about it. Actresses in a leading role, Cate Blanchett, and we already talked about this, Andrea Riseborough, Michelle Williams, and Michelle Yeoh.
I think it's maybe Michelle Yeoh.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Better be. Anyway,
I haven't seen Tar.
Actor in leading role is Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for After Sun, and Bill Nighy for Living.
Yeah, I really want to see Living. I
have not. I need to add it to my list. I'll do it right now.
It's only in theaters right now.
Oh.
It's extremely frustrating for me. Do you have a Blu-ray player?
Yeah, actually.
I'm going to send you home with a movie to watch.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to get it right now.
Okay.
Before I forget.
Okay. Hey, listener, what's up? It's me, Ben, while Marshall's grabbing a Blu-ray for me to watch later. Marshall might cut this out. He might not. This is a special time for me and you. A little intimate moment. I'm in your ears. Marshall, I'm stalling for time. Okay, so, what's going on here?
Living is a remake of an Akira Kurosawa movie.
Of course.
It is cool. Ikaru.
Okay.
Which translates to living. Or to live, something like that. Okay. I can't remember.
Yeah.
This is it. I own it because I love it.
Oh.
It's the same guy. It was the lead guy in Seven Samurai.
Okay.
As well as a few other Kurosawa movies. It's great. Essentially, it's this guy who is just a lonely bureaucrat, doesn't really have any family or anything, and he finds out that he has like 6 months to live, and has to figure out like, have I ever lived? What is living? What do I do?
Whoa.
And what is he going to do with the time that he has left?
Cool.
And it's very slow. It's not exciting.
Okay.
But I adore that movie, and the ending makes me cry. And I've heard that the new one is pretty good.
Cool.
And I like Bill Nighy.
Sweet. Anywho,
I think Colin Farrell's going to take that.
I hope so. That'd be great.
It's between him and Brendan Fraser, and I think that
Whale yet, so.
Neither have I. And Brendan Fraser won at the Golden Globes, but I think he had the benefit of the weird category divisions in that case, where he wasn't going against Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Now he is, and now he's going to lose to Colin Farrell.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That one will actually be interesting to see.
Are there any snubs in that category? Let's do it this way. Do you want to just go category by category?
I legitimately did not come in prepared enough to talk about it category by category, if I'm being real honest.
That's fine. If you don't think that there are, then we can move on.
Let's move on.
Okay. I don't know that I can think of any either.
Tom Cruise.
Don't care about that.
Did you see that beach scene though?
Nope.
Proud of him.
I didn't.
Is Top Gun Maverick up for anything within
Sound editing
VFX or
stuff?
yeah, all that? Film editing.
I have it divided by film.
Top
on
Gun
my note
Maverick
here.
is film editing. I might go to everything everywhere all at once. Anywho, let's talk movies that we liked this last year that aren't anywhere on the list.
Okay,
I'll start. Oh, you start.
Okay.
You
I have one that I've seen and one that I have not seen.
Okay.
That are both not nominated for anything. Which one do you want to hear first?
One you have not seen.
That would be Decision to Leave, directed by Park Chan-wook.
Okay.
Who is fantastic. We talked about him a little bit last week on the Parasite episode. Him and Bong Joon-ho were kind of like the two big guys of South Korean film directors. He did Old Boy, a lot of other stuff that I'm blanking on right now, but he's extremely talented, and he had a film come out this year called Decision to Leave, which I have not seen. It looks very good. I think it's on Movie.
Okay.
But it was not nominated for anything, which was very surprising to people, especially after Parasite 1 and everything. Just
maybe that could have paved the way for
more foreign
this.
things like that, yeah. But not so.
Crazy. Okay.
So that was weird.
Okay.
The one that I have seen is Nope. Was not nominated for anything.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know that I think it deserves Best Picture. I don't think it would have been nominated for that. Best Actor, no. Best Supporting, whatever. The thing that is, I mean, I can see Best Visual Effects. That because have you seen Nope?
Yeah.
Minor spoilers. Skip ahead a couple minutes if you don't want to know. The visual effects around Jean Jacket are incredible.
Yeah.
It's so simple, and yes, it kind of looks like a bed sheet, but also I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And it is stunning. And at no point do I not think it's real.
Right.
And there's also the scene in the house where Jean Jacket is right over the top and everything. The use of the rain and the blood and everything.
Yeah.
That's visual effects. And the cinematography is also incredible in Nope. The shot of the shoe and everything. And when you get Gordy looking directly at with the lampshade, which is supposed to look like Jean Jacket.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
I never thought of that.
Yes.
I should give that
I
a
saw a
rewatch
video of
from
him
home.
talking about the shoe. He explained it.
Oh, really?
It's a bad miracle. That's the whole thing. It's this thing that happens that seems impossible and shouldn't happen, but it's this perfect chaos right in the middle of everything.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. Which is really cool. Wow.
I haven't really revisited that since I watched it.
The thing that I am most surprised that it's not nominated for is the thing that I'm most surprised about another movie as well. Or this movie might be nominated for this, actually. Can't remember. But sound design, sound editing.
Sure.
The whole thing of Nope is the sound. It is immaculate. It's incredible. The way that you are hearing the wind flapping and the horses galloping, and like you hear OJ just grunting and breathing intensely as he's going, or when he gets super focused and that's just totally cut out. When it's nighttime and he goes out to go get the horse that's out in the paddock or out in the ring, whatever. It's like, how did he get out there? I don't know. And you hear all the wind and everything, and the flapping of like a metal ring against something, like on a flagpole. Like it's these sounds that we know, and they sound so good.
Yeah.
And then it's just like silent to the point where it is disconcerting. That's what a good horror movie does, is you construct an immaculate soundscape that at any point you can pull away.
Yeah.
Because that is when suddenly something feels off and something feels wrong. And you'll hear what you think is the wind and what sounds like the wind. And you find out at the end of the movie, this whole time, what you had thought was the wind is these people being eaten and digested and just screaming in terror.
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of scary movies and like real horror movies and stuff. I love horror games. That is the scariest, most terrified I have ever felt.
Whoa, really?
Like just the idea that this whole time it's just been literally the soundtrack of the movie. has been the sound of people being slowly and horrifically eaten.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
And when they're getting sucked into Jean Jacket and it's that weird like rubbery sound when you rub like, oh my gosh, it's horrible.
Right.
It's so horrible. And the fact that that wasn't nominated for Best Sound, it's crazy to me. What was nominated?
Do you think because out of all of Peele's movies,
it's critical of cinema?
Oh shoot! I wasn't even thinking about that. I guess
about
that
spectacle.
too. Yeah, but do you feel like because people compared it to Get Out and Split,
Us,
I mean, sorry. Is that why it didn't receive any
don't
awards?
know. I
Like
think
because
that-
they stack it up against his other things.
genre movies don't get nominated. It's a miracle that Return of the King won Best Picture.
Dude, I forgot about this. I'm so sorry.
Horror movies historically have just been snubbed every single time. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. What else?
So the
was
sound
nominated for sound
nominees
design?
were All Quiet on the Western Front,
I can understand that.
Avatar: The Way of Water.
Yeah.
This is one I forgot about. The Batman.
Yes.
Which is this
Absolutely
the only
deserves
category
it.
the Batman made it into?
It might be.
I think it might have been.
The Batman is also one of
visual
my,
also visual effects.
which is not. That's kind of strange to me because they used the volume in one shot and there was some visual effects, I guess. I don't know.
Then it's Elvis for sound and Top Gun Maverick for sound. So
Elvis, I would replace with Nope. Elvis, I feel like gets that nomination because of the music. And I don't think that makes as much sense to me. I've seen it. It's Baz Luhrmann going all out. So, of course, it's crazy and there's all kinds of goofy sound design and stuff like that. I would absolutely put Nope over that. The other ones, I think, are worthy noms. 100%. Wow. Especially the Batman.
Yeah.
I'm going to insert right here the sound of the Batmobile activating because it is horrifying. Movie monster, and that is on purpose.
I love that.
They literally took sounds from a lion, and that is
Wow.
there was something else. They stretched something else out to like extremely slow, and that's that screeching sound that's in it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I watched a whole video about the sound design in the Batman before it got taken down. I was the only people who saw it because it got DMCA'd. And I'm like, they're bringing so much attention to this.
Wow.
Thomas Flight, check out the YouTube channel, Thomas Flight. You just did a video on the sound design in Dune, yesterday. He's really good.
What a guy. What a guy.
Huh.
Anyway, where were we going with that?
Do you want to know another snub?
Can I share one?
Yeah.
No. You wait. What is it connected to what we were talking about? You go.
No, I don't
You
know.
go.
It's just
You
another snub.
No, go.
Okay, The Batman
Yeah.
was not nominated for cinematography. That is insane.
Yeah.
That is the best looking superhero movie that's ever been made.
I agree with you.
It's crazy.
And it is used to tell the story through
Yes.
a lot of it. Yeah.
It is visually stunning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if this was a video episode, this is right where I'd be putting some shots from the movie like I did for Parasite. Oh my gosh. Just all the close-ups of Pattinson when you get these janky, cracked lenses that we talked about this. They specifically looked for dirty, kind of broken lenses to make it look like trash.
Yeah.
But that's what they wanted the city to look like. They wanted it to look greasy and grimy and broken.
Insane.
And it works.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Marshall with the coffee shop editing this. I forgot to mention that The Batman was also not nominated for Best Original Score. What was nominated was Babylon, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Banshees of Inisherin, The Fabelmans, and All Quiet on the Western Front. Like we said in the All Quiet episode, I personally didn't find the soundtrack that compelling, and in a movie like that would not even have really thought they had one, as opposed to the Batman, which I think is one of the best soundtracks to a superhero movie for sure. But in a lot of movies, maybe ever. I also just love that movie, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But it was very, very good, and that's a major snub. So here's a little snippet of some music from the Batman because it's so good. Thanks.
What else is nominated for cinematography, Ben?
Balls. Control F, cinematography. It's going to be All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yep.
Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths.
I respect that.
Elvis.
Yeah, for sure.
Empire of Light.
Haven't
and
seen it.
Tar.
Not Everything Everywhere.
Nope. But Everything Everywhere had video, film editing.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
not-
100%.
Not the other one.
I feel like sometimes people look at these things and think that they need to choose the flashiest option, which is why, like, I think the score for Banshees is nominated. And I feel like most people would not notice that. But we talked a little bit about that, I think, in our episode on Banshees. And I was like, it's quiet and understated, but when it's there, it really works.
Right.
Like, it's about how effective it is, not how flashy it is.
Yeah.
So when you do get a movie that is so flashy, it's hard to distinguish the line there. Which is why Elvis is such a hard one for me, because it's Baz Luhrmann being Baz Luhrmann. And, you know, if you haven't seen Elvis, but you have seen Moulin Rouge, that's it. Like, it's the over-the-top craziness that he does.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just wild to me that the Batman was not nominated, though.
Yeah,
I would put it in there over something. I don't know what.
Crazy.
You talk now.
Okay, so I
segues.
brought three movies that weren't nominated for things, but I think listeners should go watch them.
Yeah.
First off, I'll start with, if you have a Hulu account, you got to go watch Prey.
It was very good.
I thought it was great. And like I said earlier, my list of 3, I get why these weren't nominated for things. Prey was a very good film, very fun to watch, but I get that it wasn't nominated.
I just thought of a movie that I watched that was not nominated for anything, and I wouldn't nominate for anything, but was very fun.
Okay. I feel like at least, like, I don't know, costume design for
Maybe.
There's so many great scenes in that movie.
There are.
All of the scenes where the Predator has the old-fashioned tech or whatever, like, it's all dope.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I thought it was a fantastic film, and
100%.
I would recommend it to people who are looking for a good time. I don't know.
If you don't care about Predator, doesn't matter.
No,
this is not connected to any of the previous ones. It takes place before all of the previous ones.
Yeah.
And it's very good.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of showing how this teenage girl can kill this thing.
Also, the fact that just the all-native cast, I think, kills it.
Very
It is
cool,
awesome,
yeah.
and I wish there was a place in the Oscars for that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's really neat what they did, and they all did amazing and deserve major kudos.
100%.
So that was mine. What were you just thinking of? Something that you liked?
The Greatest Beer Run. Did you watch this on Apple Plus?
Uh-uh.
Apple TV did a movie called The Greatest Beer Run starring Zac Efron and Russell Crowe is in it.
Oh, really?
It's a true story about a guy whose buddies were in Vietnam and he wasn't volunteering or wasn't drafted, whatever, and was talking to his buddies and was like, his buddy's still back home in, I think, Boston maybe. And they're like, man, I wish that I could just go over there and give my guys a beer. And Bill Murray behind the bar is like, well, why don't you?
What?
And it's a true story.
How have I never heard of this?
Right?
film?
You're the social studies teacher.
Yeah, dude,
you can
this
show
looks
this.
so
it's
funny.
a good anti-war movie too.
Is it?
Because he
Cool.
goes over there thinking like, I'm going to support my boys. They're fighting for America. All this different stuff. And meanwhile, his sister is a protester and all this stuff. And he goes over there and finds a lot of his friends and gives them a beer. He goes with a whole like duffel bag full of cans of Boston beer. And comes to the realization of like, this isn't a joke. Like, and this is horrible. This is awful what's happening here. and it's really good. Russell Crowe is a war photographer.
Cool.
And he is there just enough to be good and not kind of take attention away from what's actually happening.
Sure.
I really, really liked it.
Sweet.
It was a blast.
Go use that, Efron.
Yeah.
That's great.
Give me your next one.
My next one is one that I will receive crap for, and that's okay. I liked "Marry Me" a lot, and I haven't
seen it, but it looks fun.
It's so fun, dude. It's Owen Wilson accidentally marrying a pop star played by J-Lo.
I hate it when that happens.
It does. You hate it when that happens. It happens sometimes. It was so fun. I saw it in theaters on Valentine's Day, and it was amazing.
Was Kate there too?
Yes, okay. I wasn't alone. I was not alone.
Maybe I didn't say you were alone.
No, that's true. I was with my wife. We went to Trader Joe's first and got a bunch of snacks and stuffed them in her purse.
True love.
And then we had like a charcuterie board in the theater while watching "Marry Me."
That's very
Maybe
good.
it's because it's like a teacher falling in love way out of his league, and he's like it's just Owen Wilson being a nice Owen Wilson single dad.
That's pretty
and
cool,
the whole
man.
thing is just like old-fashioned rom-com, like
Yeah.
2000s rom-com, but from 2022.
J-Lo's bringing them back, man.
They don't make a lot of movies like that anymore. It's just
J-Lo's got
great.
another one coming out with Josh Duhamel.
I saw that. I don't know what to think.
It looks really
Does
dumb,
does it?
but like maybe fun dumb. I don't know.
Great. This was fun dumb. I thought this was super, super great. It's the classic rom-com formula. 2022 though.
Yeah.
I love Owen Wilson. I love this movie. It
Why don't you
obviously
marry him?
is not gonna get an Oscar, but everybody freaking go watch it. It's
I would
great.
nominate it for Best Picture.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. You should. It's a good date night flick.
Maybe I will, man.
Any others from you?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other movies that I watched this year. I didn't have a lot of time to watch a lot of movies. A lot of the stuff that I want to go back to check out is stuff that is nominated.
Yeah. I've got one more if you don't.
Go for it.
Okay, my third, not nominated for anything, but I thought was one of my favorite movies of the year, is Vengeance, directed
Oh, the
and
BJ Novak
written
thing
by
on
BJ
Prime?
Novak. Yep, written and directed by BJ Novak, his directorial debut.
Oh.
Stars.
Did he never direct an episode of The Office? Maybe feature at least.
Yeah. His directorial debut.
Wow, surprising.
Stars BJ Novak himself. Ashton Kutcher has a pretty large role. Boyd Holbrook, Dove Cameron. So the whole idea is that BJ Novak is an aspiring podcaster, and he's trying to, which I thought was pretty fun. It feels very generational. It feels very like there's a lot of people in my life who are always like, oh, I should start a podcast. I should make it big. I should, myself included. And anyway,
You should start a podcast.
He stumbles across this story. Also, I love NPR, and it's very NPR-y because it's like, any murder podcast is kind of like the vibe.
Yeah.
So he stumbles across the death of this girl who he hooked up with once. His family thought they were going steady, or her family thought they were going steady. So they hit him up and say, hey, she's dead. And he's like, who? I don't know who this is. Anyway, he goes to the funeral because he thinks it's a good idea for a podcast.
Yeah.
And then the mystery unfolds. It was one of my favorite movies of the whole year. It was
Really?
It was really fun. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Bob Seger, my boss, Bob Seger, not famous bullet band man, Bob
Yeah,
Seger. He told me about the movie and said that he liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's freaking
But
great.
you saying that you liked it,
I liked it a lot.
that makes me have more confidence.
Oh, cool.
Not that Bob doesn't have good taste,
Yeah.
but just Bob's opinion of this BJ Novak Amazon Prime movie
Yeah.
was not a ton of confidence for me.
Right.
So that's cool.
It's good. I'd take the time to watch it. Especially there's like a very overarching plot is like big city liberal versus small town conservative. And in the news media, it's all painted like they're at war against each other. But then when they actually interact, they've realized that each side is like real people. And
Awful.
he thought he was going to Texas to interact with these simpletons. And,
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah. No. But yeah, it was great.
One thing that I started to watch and I don't think I'm going to finish. You
Yeah.
want to know one movie that I just can't suggest, unfortunately?
Encanto.
Just, don't do that to me. Laura listens to these. I've been where Encanto takes place.
like that movie.
You don't?
Like Encanto.
Wow. Ben
it's really bad.
hates Columbia.
There's like some of the songs are good, but they never feel like they really make sense when they bust into a song.
I agree.
There's no connection to them.
I agree.
Freaking at the very end, they finish off and they're like, oh my gosh, wow, like even though we don't have powers, we still like love each other and we're a family. And then they freaking get their powers back, and you're like, why did you rob that? Why you just gave it to them for free?
Because it's the power of family is the power.
Oh no, it's not though, because they get back the magic house again, and
got
they're
the
like,
power.
oh, stupid movie.
You've got the power.
I thought it was a joke at the very
What
end.
power?
I thought it was a freaking joke. What are you quoting?
The power of voodoo.
So what is this?
Voodoo, you do.
The voodoo, you do that we do.
It's Labyrinth.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
The baby with the power. That's what it is. Not you got the power.
Anyway, what were you
baby?
saying? A movie that you haven't finished. It's not Encanto.
Just came out on Netflix, starring Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
You people.
Eddie Murphy's in a movie again.
He's in a couple. He's bringing back Axel Foley. They just finished shooting Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's like a new age Who's Coming to Dinner. Look Who's Coming to Dinner, essentially.
Google categorizes it as romance/buddy. Is it when you fall in love with your buddy?
No.
Oh.
It's trying to do it's trying to be a modern rom-com.
Uh-huh.
And it just most of the time feels like they had a loose idea of a script. They took the Curb Your Enthusiasm method of having a plot and then making the rest up on the set. Except that in Curb that works because they're all very talented improvisers. And in this, it felt like a weird series of disconnected Jonah Hill sketches. And Eddie Murphy is there doing his best to make it better.
Interesting.
David Duchovny is also in it, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. There's parts of it that were funny. I watched more than half of it, and I was just like, I'm not interested.
Dang.
Not good. So if you do want to watch something on Netflix that just came out that is good,
Yeah?
I'll tell you this one thing, and then we'll go.
Okay.
I haven't watched this, but I've seen previous stuff from this person, and it's very entertaining. It's called Kunk on Earth.
Kunk?
C-U-N-K on Earth.
Kunk.
Yep.
Ugh. It's a weird word, and I don't like it. Season 1 on Netflix. Okay.
Yep, Philomena Kunk is here to show how far humanity has come, or not, in this witty mockumentary tracing the history of civilization.
Fun. I like that.
It's she does these like Between Two Ferns style. She's a character and she'll interview people, and
Cool.
they don't necessarily know that she's a character.
Sweet.
I guess more like a Ali G Borat kind of thing.
Sure.
Not that kind of humor, but that kind of like
Kinda
they don't know
hidden
that he's a
camera.
character. She's very funny.
Cool.
There's been some snubs by the snobs. There's been some noms by the knobs. And
We are two knobs.
oh, yeah, we are.
Between two ferns, more like between two knobs.
Ah, jeez. This- yeah.
So go watch some films. Marshall, we need to watch Top Gun Maverick, I think.
We do. I would watch it.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for listening to this episode. I'm looking where the camera would be. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cinema Lounge Presents. Next week on A Full Lounge, we're gonna talk about dun 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 dun.
I am justice.
I
I am the world's greatest supercomputer. I am the world's greatest detective. Alfred!
You want to know how I got these scars?
Where's Rachel?
I was the man
Where
in the
is she?
movie.
Where is she?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is
Bruce Wayne.
I'm going to snap your buddy.
Wayne.
I'm coming after you. This is how long are we going to do this bit? I'm wondering.
I just really want to watch College Humor Batman videos.
Well, oh no, I'm not gonna do Michael Caine. I was about to do it.
I just got lightheaded.
We're gonna watch the Chris Nolan Batman trilogy,
Okay.
and we're gonna talk about that
Yeah.
because the DC studios just announced their big news. And that is going to basically be all of tight news next week. I have a lot of tight news.
Tight news is big news. That's what they always say.
I got a lot of tight news, and I'm pushing it all away because we got to talk about the big DC Studio stuff. So to go with that, we're going to watch the Dark Knight trilogy and talk about that. And then the week after that is looking like it's going to be The Northman.
Yeah.
So you can check that out.
Yeah.
We might. Yeah, it's gonna be The Northman. I'm not gonna say anything. This is a good episode.
What minute are we at right now?
Everybody,
Did we just turn this into a full episode?
No. Thank you for listening to the episode. Check us out on social media.
Okay.
CinemaLoungePod@gmail.com.
Right.
Cinema Lounge Pod on Instagram.
Okay.
Cinema Lounge on Facebook.
Fine.
mparish_art on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Twitch.tv/KingScubDoo? I don't remember anymore.
Join the Discord.
The official YouTube channel of the Great Scubdoo.
We don't touch it.
Go to the Discord channel. It's in the description. If you still can't look at that, just type it in.
Yeah.
Just type it in.
Yeah.
Type it in. And
That's Ben.
And I've been Ben.
Bye.
Bye, Ben.
Marshall.
Amen.
Amen.